to our lectures on the Uniform Commercial Code. Today, in this lecture, we're going to talk about shipping and the risk of loss in the terms of the UCC contracts. There are two kinds of contracts under the UCC. One is a shipping contract and the other is a destination contract. A shipping contract is where the parties agree that the contract is where the seller will put the goods in the hands of the carrier at the seller's place of business, and the carrier will take them to the buyer. That is a shipping contract. The seller only has an obligation to put them in the hands of the carrier at the seller's place of business. A destination contract, on the other hand, is when the seller agrees to send the product to the buyer and the buyer takes control of it at the buyer's place of business. So shipping is where the seller ships it out, and the destination contract is where the seller gives it to the buyer at the buyer's place of business. That's extremely important, because what it means is that the cost of shipping is determined whether it's a shipping contract or a destination contract, and the risk of loss is determined by whether it's a shipping contract or a destination contract. If the parties have not agreed in their documents, in their contract, whether it's a shipping contract or a destination contract, without agreement, it is always a shipping contract. So unless you agree, it's a shipping contract. You can agree to a destination contract. And how do you determine whether the contract is a shipping contract or a destination contract? You look for the term FOB. That stands for free on board. The FOB is the place where the contract is completed. An FOB at the seller's place of business says that it's a shipping contract. The seller gives it to the carrier, like a truck, and the carrier takes it to the destination. But it's a shipping contract. The seller only has an obligation to get it to the carrier. But a destination contract is where the seller has the obligation to get it to the buyer's place of business. So, if it's FOB, shipping, it's a shipping contract. If it's FOB, the buyer's place of business, it is a destination contract. And what happens is that the FOB place determines where the obligation for shipping lies. FOB shipping means that the obligation to ship means it's a seller's obligation to get it to the destination. And if it's an FOB buyer's place of business, it's a shipping contract. But it also is determined where the risk of loss, the risk of loss is. The risk of loss is if the goods get damaged in transit in the carrier's hand, who bears the loss? In a shipping contract, the buyer bears the loss because the seller gives the goods to the carrier, and that's the end of the seller's obligation. If it's a destination contract, the risk of loss is on the seller because the seller has the obligation to get the goods to the buyer's place of business. So if the goods are destroyed on the way under a destination contract, the buyer has the risk of loss. If the goods are destroyed on the way under a shipping contract, then the seller has the risk of loss. Anyway, so that's the shipping and risk of loss under the UCC. Next time we're going to talk about warranties under the UCC. Thank you.